Josh Gordon was the topic of conversation, and unfortunately, there's not a whole lot more clarity on his situation right now.
No, there's really not. In fact, John Dorsey admitted he has no idea when Josh Gordon is going to come back. Josh said soon. John Dorsey admits that could be 3 days, 10 days, or even 30 days. So there's a lot of uncertainty about that. And then also, he would not entertain or address if there could possibly be a suspension forthcoming. And then finally, they are exploring options, including Dez Bryant.
Yeah, you asked about Dez Bryant if he could be an option. Of course, he's been sitting out there for a little while. Certainly a guy that has a little bit of baggage that comes with him. Maybe not the player he used to be, but still a guy that could probably come in and help if for some reason Josh Gordon is out longer than just training camp.
Yeah, I mean, he's a 3-time Pro Bowler. He's had a lot of production. He's a good wide receiver. And from everything I can tell, he wants to go to a contender. But there's a lot of buzz about these Cleveland Browns this year, and there are players coming from good teams that are willing to play here, including Michael Kendricks. So I think when you sort of lay it all out and show that, look, Jarvis Landry is here, Corey Coleman's here, Tyrod Taylor, and all the running backs that you have on this football team, I think that Dez has been around long enough to know that they could possibly do something special on this offense. And then John Dorsey seems to have a little bit of a history with him.
And of course, the other piece of this with Josh Gordon is even if he does come back in, say, a week or 2 weeks, this is just sort of a reminder that you just never really know with him, that they're never really going to be able to fully count on him. So it'll be interesting to see if they make a decision on Gordon's future with the Browns moving forward if he does come back soon.
Well, they did switch him over from the non-football injury list over to did not report. So it's basically a bookkeeping move that opens up another roster spot for them, and I do believe that they will probably fill that with another receiver. They did try out Eli Rogers. He went back to the Steelers, so he's not an option right now. A couple other guys that are available would be Eric Decker, Jeremy Maclin, who I know they had a little bit of interest in last year, and it's just really up in the air right now. But it just seems to me that they are coming to the realization that Josh Gordon might be somebody that they cannot count on this season.
Now, at quarterback, they do have a guy they can count on in Tyrod Taylor. He is going to be the starting quarterback. Hugh Jackson, again, very strongly. Tyrod Taylor is the starting quarterback. There's not going to be a battle. Tyrod Taylor is going to get the reps with the first team. So nothing has really changed on that front, and it doesn't appear it's going to.
No, and I think that was an important thing to examine today. Because if Tyrod Taylor and Baker Mayfield were going to be splitting those first team reps, then it turns into a little bit of a quarterback competition. But Hugh Jackson did say today that no, it's not going to be like that. Tyrod's going to get those first team reps. Baker will be working with the second team unless there's an unusual circumstance where Tyrod gets a break one day, one of those veteran days off. So, and if he does, don't read anything into it, is what we have been told. So it is Tyrod all the way. Hugh wants us to believe that. I'm willing to give that a shot.
Well, not only have we not had a year without a quarterback competition here in a while, we haven't had a year where a quarterback has been willing to maybe take a day off because he feels comfortable. So that alone would be a development.
Yeah, and I think another good thing is that those two guys have developed a good working relationship. Baker will compete, but he's striking the balance between competition and also knowing his place. He knows he's here to learn from Tyrod Taylor and to eventually take over the starting quarterback job, but he knows that it's Tyrod's right now.
And of course, on the injury front, Jabril Peppers likely to open the training camp on the physically unable to perform list with a groin injury. He's in a battle with Derek Kindred for the starting strong safety job, a battle that kind of took us off guard, but Kindred going to get a leg up here on this competition to start.
Yeah, and that is a little disappointing because this was going to be one of the more heated battles of camp. It's time for Jabril Peppers to step up. He's a first-round pick from last year, and you expect your first-round picks to go in there and not only start, but to make an impact. So that's one to watch. And then the other thing that we found out today is that Ricardo Lewis is out for the season with a neck injury. He underwent surgery. So a couple of guys, Chad Thomas, he's starting out on PUP with a groin injury. So there are some expected injuries at the start of camp and a few unexpected ones.
Yeah, and Lewis' injury kind of opens the door for some other guys that may be battling for one of those last wide receiver spots. Rashard Higgins, Jeff Janis, there's some guys out there who could maybe take advantage of that. We'll have full coverage of training camp today, and then of course everything kicks off for real tomorrow. It's all at cleveland.com/Browns.